Hello, ITPC. Ethan, Parsimonious Piper here. Today we have some more morsels for mental manducation. But first, I'm smoking yet another bowl of Squadron Leader. Today, I've tried it in some of my better pipes. Today I decided to try it in my crappiest pipe. This is a Lucerne. If you've never heard of Lucerne, feel fortunate. I'm not sure if this is a pecan or what kind of wood it is. It is a cheap pipe. I picked it up in Sevierville, Tennessee at a tobacco shop years ago. I thought, 40 bucks. If it's no good, we'll just pitch it. Well, it was no good, but I couldn't pitch it. I discovered this one isn't even in my pipe spreadsheet. That's how crappy this pipe is. When I got it, it wouldn't pass a pipe cleaner at all. Now, if I'm lucky, it will, because I took a drill to the stem. I'm not sure that I can get a pipe cleaner through it consistently. I think I have to get it aimed just right. I didn't drill straight. But you couldn't even breathe through it much when I got it. Didn't know much about buying pipes when I bought this one years ago. And no, smoking it in this does not make me like Squadron Leader any better. I suppose that's a good thing. It would be a shame to have a blend come alive in your worst pipe. Make no mistake, the pipe may be crappy. Squadron Leader is not. It's just not really to my taste. It is quality stuff. It burns really well, very evenly. And there are just loads and loads of people out there who really like the stuff. Today, we're going to move away from the virus. We're going to go to one of our other favorite topics, racism. Many of you are aware there was an election held in Virginia last week. Republicans took back the governorship and the state house. No seats were up for grabs in the state senate. Contrary to what was predicted. But of course, the talking heads on the left can't get away from crying racism at every turn. Wajahat Ali of the Daily Beast tweeted, "Whiteness remains undefeated. Let's wait and see who those white suburban voters went for tonight in Virginia. Any guesses?" As the polls were coming in. CNN's Nia Malika Henderson said, "We see the enduring power of the culture wars, and the Republicans are better at playing this game because it's essentially white identity politics," and so on. Ignored, of course, was that in this last week's election, history occurred. For the first time ever in the state of Virginia, a black woman was elected to a statewide office. Not for the first time necessarily, but at the same time, a Hispanic was elected to the state attorney general position. So these same white supremacist, racist voters who voted in the governor, who is now going to be white, they also voted in a black woman, first ever state of Virginia, statewide office, and a Hispanic for another statewide office, a very important one, the attorney general. Well, why were those two positions ignored so that they could scream racism? They were both Republicans. How is it that the Democrat Party has not fielded a successful female black candidate for a statewide office in Virginia, but the Republicans managed to do it. It's those horrible racists in the Republican Party. They want to elect black people. That's terrible. That's racist. I don't get it either. While we're on the Virginia election, are you one of those people who still thinks that CNN is unbiased, objective, good standard journalism? As the results came in, and it became increasingly clear that Democrat McAuliffe was going to lose, CNN's Jake Tapper provided this clearly unbiased, purely professional, journalistic 3-word response on camera. I would read the quote, but it's pretty simple. He said, "Oh my God." Priceless. Yes, oh my God. A Republican's going to win an election. Yeah, that's CNN for you. Last piece for today, we are going to stay with Virginia. Still on the topic. MSNBC's Joy Reid is one of those gifts who keeps on giving because as a black female who has a show on MSNBC, she never fails to provide some blatant form of racism on her show. Happened again right here with this election. She had on Michael Eric Dyson. Now, some of you may be familiar with Dyson. He was recently let go from Georgetown because of very credible sexual assault allegations that the university did not want to have to defend a lawsuit against. Sadly and embarrassingly, he was picked up by my alma mater, Vanderbilt. That school has just slid so far to the left. It's disgusting. Anyway, this is a guy who is a big proponent of CRT, critical race theory, and he sees white supremacy and systemic racism quite literally everywhere. Of Virginia's newly elected black female lieutenant governor, Winsome Sears, he said, "She is a black mouth moving, but a white idea running on the runway of the tongue of a figure who justifies and legitimates the white supremacist practices." End quote. Well, first, this is obviously someone who loves to hear the sound of his own voice because he speaks in academic language that makes him sound a lot smarter than he really is. But can you imagine a Republican saying something like that about a black woman who had just been elected to office? Can you imagine a white person saying that? She's just a mouthpiece. To her credit, Winsome Sears has challenged Joy Reid to have her on to debate her. You know that's not going to happen. Compared to Sears, Reid couldn't talk her way out of a wet paper bag. Sears is eloquent. She is very much pro-America. She loves this country. Came here as a child, as an immigrant. Penniless. Her dad had a buck something to his name when he came to the country. She loves America. I guess she's a white supremacist. She must be. Just listen to Dyson. That happened Thursday. To this point, no one at MSNBC, either on the air or from their executive offices, has seen fit to challenge this blatant racism or call it out for what it is or punish the person responsible for it. Make no mistake, that person is Joy Reid. She laughed and nodded her head while Dyson spewed his racist hate. Not sure why I thought smoking a decent blend that I'm not real fond of in a crappy pipe would be a great idea. It wasn't. But I'll keep trying. I still have a few more bowls left in the sample that Matt from Picking and Piping sent me. Thank you, Matthew, by the way. May not have been a strike for me, or a hit. It was a strike, swing and a miss. But it was good to be able to try something that everybody talks about. Folks, the white right is not where most of the racism in America is coming from. Hate to burst your bubble. You need to look a little farther to the left. That's where all the hate's being spewed. And with that, light something you like. Don't do it in a crappy pipe, but enjoy your afternoon.